Here we are.
Your hair is amazing.
Thank you.
Shaman
Giada. Hello, everybody.
from Harper Therapy.
We are here today in our new kind of conference video room, and we have a great topic today. A topic I enjoy a lot.
This is one me and Yolanda talk about a few times for the connected relationship stuff as well.
So today we want to share with everybody out there how we implement timeouts in relationships.
Right.
So first of all, do not freak out. These are not the timeouts that we used to give our kids. It's not a punishment. It's actually a moment of self-awareness. No wooden spoons here.
It's actually, we were just talking about wooden spoons a minute ago. It's actually it's a really good thing to step back, to kind of catch your breath, especially when in relationship, everything is always getting ratcheted up.
Yes.
And
I usually ask clients, like, have you felt the tension building up on your shoulders when you're having a conversation? Do you feel that knot in your stomach? Do you feel like your body temperature is rising? And if you answer yes to any of those, welcome to the human club, because it happens to all of us. And that is a really good moment to step back and invoke a therapeutic timeout.
So I can't, on occasion around here, I just been cracking up since I read, we write a whole blog and we did this whole thing about our topic, and I can remember a few times sitting in the next room over from you, or being in the hallway as you're in session with a couple, and things getting more and more intense. You kind of hear it, through the rest of the room. Sometimes you can't really make out what's going on, but you can hear the intensity, and I hear you going, therapeutic timeout. So that I can't look at this without laughing about that. So
because we implement it, we don't know that we need it until we start putting it into practice.
Absolutely.
And the first thing that couples always ask after I say therapeutic timeout is how do we do this at home? Right,
because it's a big one at home.
Yes.
You can do this at home. This is a game changer in your relationship.
So the first thing that I tell them, you're not telling your partner take a timeout.
Right.
You're checking yourself and seeing if your body response is changing, or if your thought process has changed and you have stopped listening to your partner.
Absolutely.
Either of those are two good moments to say, I'm invoking a therapeutic timeout for myself.
I need to step away for a second, catch my breath. I need
to step away. And there are different ways in which you can say this. Every couple has their own little verbiage, but you can say, you know what? I'm invoking a therapeutic timeout. I care for you enough. I respect this conversation enough. But I am feeling a certain way right now that I'm not going to be coherent. I'm going to raise my voice. I'm going to respond without really thinking about the consequences. So I would want a therapeutic timeout to calm down. And then we can reconvene in whatever time you decide. I usually recommend 15 minutes. And that would be a good time to both people go to separate sides of the house. Just take a moment.
Go to your corners.
And really think about what's going on. What was triggered?
Right. I think the hard part about this is all about me.
Yeah.
It's not about you. I recognize I need to step away for a second. The hard part is having the maturity to communicate that, right? This isn't about you. I'm not trying to hurt you. I need to step back a second, and we have to kind of contract to come back together, right? Hey, we're going to take 15 minutes or 20 minutes or the rest of the evening or whatever it is, right? And we have to agree to come back.
Yeah.
And it takes the maturity in you not to just walk out, because this is not just walking now.
No.
Right?
This is something I talk with couples a lot. You can go to your bedroom, you can journal, you can take a cold shower, you can have a glass of water. I usually recommend don't drink during those 15 minutes of timeout. You don't want alcohol on top of the anger. Oh, I was like,
drink, you just said water.
No, don't drink alcohol. Go to the garden, sit in your lanai. I ask people to not get in the car and leave the house.
Right.
Because usually when we're asking for a therapeutic timeout, very choice words have been said.
Right.
And if, God forbid, something happens to you while you're driving under the influence of anger, is that the legacy that you want to leave?
Right. That's the kind of thing
F you is the last thing that you spoke to each other. That's not healthy.
Right.
So you can stay within the property, have your time apart, and within the 15 minutes, come back and check in with each other and say, hey, I'm calmer now. How are you? Right. Is this a good time to start with the
So
conversation.
that's another
again.
big thing, re-engaging and,
Yeah.
and kind of with that invitation of, is this a good time?
Yeah.
Do you need more time?
Yeah.
Right.
And I usually say you can take 2 timeouts in a row, tops 3 timeouts in a row.
So it's like, what, 45 minutes?
45 minutes. And I give them that time frame because that way you're not abandoning the issue, avoiding the issue, or ignoring the issue.
Right, because timeouts are not that.
No.
Right.
You're not running away from it.
Right.
You're actually getting yourself ready and in a place of healthy communication with your partner.
Absolutely.
So some of the things that we always talk about when I bring this up with couples is the areas of respect. When you're taking the time out, don't go to the door knocking and say, I haven't finished, and continue barraging the partner. Just really take those 15 minutes to check in with yourself. I would prefer people to avoid using social media, emailing, making phone calls, because then you're not really being introspective.
Right.
You're kind of escaping at that moment. You can use your phone for listening to relaxation music, to do a guided meditation during those 15 minutes. But try to refrain from escaping to social
All these
media.
productive, nice things that you come up with.
I know, right? It's what can they do?
Right.
Because we are so stuck to our phones. Like I will be the first one. I love me my Instagram.
Right.
Just go in there and I lose myself in there.
Right.
The other thing is what I already mentioned. Don't leave the house
Don't leave the property,
in anger.
right.
Just stay within that. Something that a couple said, we only have one bathroom. What if we both want to take a shower? I said, flip a coin.
That's a good idea.
Heads, tails, and don't fight the coin. And then whoever gets the first chance goes, takes a shower. Then the second person then goes, takes a shower. And you are not really fighting over it.
Right.
And that's a way to solve it.
Right.
After the 15 minutes, you come back, you check in. How are you feeling? Do you need another timeout? I feel calmer.
Right.
And then you re-engage. The other question I get a lot, what if it's late at night?
Yeah. Do I go to bed with this?
With the anger.
Right. Right.
So there's a way to work a therapeutic timeout into that. And it's kind of turning to your partner and saying, I acknowledge that this is an important conversation. We do need to get up early tomorrow morning.
And talk about it.
Yes. I propose that we pause it, and I can commit to sitting with you tomorrow at 5 p.m. What do you think about that?
Right. So as long as you contract.
Yeah. And then you let the other person know, I still love you, or I still care for you. I'm angry right now, or I'm disappointed, but I still respect you enough to say, this is worth talking through, but not at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Right.
And then after that, hopefully, putting those skills into practice will make it easier for the goal of a therapeutic timeout, which is for people to be able to have differences of opinion, to be able to agree to disagree without breaking down that important link.
Well, that's
in
the
the
thing,
couple.
right? Like, I mean, this is mature relationship communication type stuff, because if you have the maturity to stop and pause and catch yourself and collect yourself and then re-engage, and even do that over the process of like multiple tough things, right? You're really communicating in a healthy way. You're really kind of communicating at next level, and it's the kind of thing that's going to draw you closer, and it's a muscle that you build. Like, you know, the better you get at it, the easier it is to engage it, and the easier it is to help you, you know, work through hard things.
Yeah.
So.
And then one last thing that I always share with our couples, when you point a finger at somebody, one finger's out at you, 3 fingers are pointing at me. So what 3 things can I do differently during this therapeutic timeout to come back to the conversation and make it productive?
So just try to switch the paradigm a little bit.
Yes.
Right? I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
So listen to be listened, and listen with an open heart and an open mind.
Yeah.
That's what I've got for today.
So that's the kind of stuff that people like Giara here at Harbor Therapy can help you with. Give us a call at 813-434-3639. Thanks, guys.
Have a great one.